We're here with Jeremy Rowley from DigiCert. Maybe you can explain to CSPs, MSPs, website owners, and so on, what they currently have to deal with regarding online threats.
Sure. Happy to do so. First, I'm Jeremy from DigiCert, and I run the product team over there. I'm the Chief Product Officer. I get to work on all the fantastic solutions that DigiCert is providing to help remediate these threats that we want to talk about, as well as the advancements in the industry related to PKI. We run the industry standards team and are actively involved in many industry standards groups in trying to promote internet security and innovation within the industry. So one of the big threats we see are the number of connected devices that are coming on board that are just non-secured. You basically have everybody and their dog trying to connect to the internet with their devices. So fridges, microwaves, HVACs, utility meters. You have the smart homes and smart cities all coming online, and these devices aren't necessarily secured by default. So the wisdom of the server industry, which has taken place over the last 20 years in providing secure by default and making sure that the communication and authentication happens with these devices, the servers, is not there yet for the IoT devices that are coming on. So we are working actively to help partners and other people secure every connected device, whether it be a server or a fridge or whatever. So the threats really are very similar, just in scale. You have the threats of man-in-the-middle attacks, stealing this information, malware being distributed to the devices through secure, improper or inappropriately or improper secure setting on the boot up or on the distribution of the patches. And you have the problem with unknown devices that are on these networks that are compromising them. So for example, there was a hospital incident where the guest network was not secure. People were able to get in and compromise MRI machines and X-ray machines and all these other connected devices that should have had security by default. So it's a changing threat landscape, but a lot of the threats look similar, just are being implemented on slightly different systems.
Within just a few months, Google will mark all HTTP pages as not secure. What opinion do you have on this?
That's great. Yeah, I think it should happen. Security should be the default standard, not something that we do as an afterthought. And so securing all of the devices and all the connections is a great idea. It means that server operators have to manage more on their, they have more on their plate than ever before. But it's great because it will prevent a lot of attacks related to cookies and other things that are normally not secured that attackers can harvest and extract information from.
DigiCert acquired Symantec lately.
Yeah.
There are some issues with it coming up. Can you explain a little bit about it?
Yeah, so we acquired Symantec in November after Google announced that they're planning to distrust the semantic roots in a phased approach. And the first of those dates already happened. It was in December. And at that time, all new certificates had to be issued from the DigiCert root certificates. We met that date already and are working towards the next 2 days. The first of those is in March when the beta version of Chrome comes out that will distrust all certificates issued prior to June 2016. So we're actively working on replacing those certificates. We're making good progress, and I think we'll make that. That's coming up this week. The next date after that is in September of this year, when Chrome beta will distrust all certificates issued from the Symantec root. So we want to replace all certificates that were issued by Symantec with a DigiCert equivalent for free, of course, and well before that. We're hoping to have all of that done by July, but I'm sure that there will be people who wait until the last minute. That's fine too. We can take care of that, and happy to help however we can.
What will happen with the Symantec brand?
The Symantec brand will remain with the Symantec company, but as far as digital certificates go, the Symantec brand will be phased out and replaced with the DigiCert brand.
And technology-wise, what's in it for Symantec customers?
Technology-wise, DigiCert's always been a customer-centric approach. So technology-wise, we try to deploy tools that help customers in the way that they need to manage their certificates and replace them in an automated and seamless fashion. So what we can expect to see from the technology standpoint is more tools, more management options, and more sophistication in how we address the certificate landscape. including provisioning, deployment, management, and issuance of the certificates.
Something else, DevOps seems to be adopted by enterprises more and more. What does this mean security-wise, and what products does DigiCert offer for this?
So DevOps is definitely the current trend and a good thing, right? It makes the efficiency, it increases the efficiency of IT departments everywhere and of operations. What it means for digital certificates is that you have different people who may be requesting it based on their role or on how they're operating within the company. And so I think from our perspective it looks the same. However, user management becomes more important on the account basis. And so DigiCert builds a lot of tools around user management, as well as how do you communicate policy to the CA about who's authorized and what's authorized and what the scope is. And that's all things that are built into our platform as well as into the model